Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Future Nate here for this video because we really didn't do an intro. We kind of just jumped into it. In this video, we go to Dade Battlefield Historic State Park in Central Florida. It's just west of the city of Claremont. It's about an hour from our house. It's like northwest from us. Just something I kind of stumbled upon while Googling different places to go. I was trying to look at historic sites first of all, and something that was relatively close by, within an hour or two. So I stumbled upon this. It sounded interesting. It was a conflict between the Native Americans, the Seminole Indians, and the U.S. troops. And this was in the late 1800s. So I thought it was interesting, and I wanted to learn more about it. So we hopped in the car and drove up here. Like most state parks, there was a small fee. I think it was $3 cash. There was no actual uh like person at the entrance booth, so I guess it was on the honor system. There was a ranger there that was maintaining stuff, but again, they were not stationed at the entrance. But we also saw a sign as we pulled up with a QR code on it saying you could pay online, so we did. It also happened that the weekend we went, the state of Florida, through Governor DeSantis, they were doing kind of a discount thing, a way to encourage people to kind of get out and about. And so it happened to be $1 off. So we paid $2 on the app. So either way, really cheap and relatively easy to use. We could have also gone on to the state park website in advance and purchased the parking pass. So a lot of ways you could do it if you are going to visit here or any other state park throughout Florida. But with that, let's jump into the video. This is the visitor center parking lot. They got these little bulletin board thing here, I guess.
Oh, there's a code for
Something just ran across over there. I wonder what that was.
that's the QR code how they can pay online.
Oh yeah, so if you guys want to pay online in advance, go ahead and scan this QR code. And there is a pedestrian rate, there is a single person rate, and then there's a multiple people in a single vehicle rate, which is up to 8, and that's the same price as a single person rate, which was $3. So, and actually right now, thanks to Governor DeSantis wanting people to get out and about for the month of July 2024, we save $1, so it was actually only $2 for us. So thank you, Governor DeSantis. They have one of these take one, leave one little library book things. So Mars is checking it out. It's kind of cool. Oh look, it's a rabbit. I knew something ran by over there. Hey, Mr. Rabbit. Or Bunny, or I don't know. Oh, there he goes. Our first Amagle at the Dade Battlefield Historic State Park. Alright, we're coming up to the front entrance of the visitor center. So I believe this was the largest, or one of the largest, battles between the Americans and the settlers. So here's a little bit about the area. This was the relocation to move them. So this was the original Seminole Reservation. And this was Major Francis Dade. So it looks like he was attacked going from Fort Brooke to Fort King, which took 5 days because of all the gear.
The Seminoles traveled so long.
Yeah, it's a long way. I guess they stopped to rest, and that's when the Seminole warriors attacked. They killed half of his command. There's a little more about the Seminoles using the land to their advantage. Yeah, that was the second Seminole War, and this was the one that really took the toll on the Seminoles. So So this was the first one, though. This is what kind of started it off. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting. And it was here, I guess. Here's the visitor center. We're inside the visitor center. Sorry for the glare, but what we're looking at is this bayonet here. Found in a tree. Identified as an 1816 U.S. Army bayonet for a 69 caliber smoothbore flintlock. Wow.
Hey, you come into the quilt show.
Oh, a quilt show. All right.
Oh, this is the one I was telling you about.
There's some Seminole crafts. These little baskets, they're kind of neat, actually. They're not very big, just for some scale.
This is the one I was telling you about.
Oh, the Pioneer Museum.
Days are coming up.
Well, maybe something we can check out. I don't know.
But to dress up like I'm Pioneer.
Maybe. Here's a large, like, mural. This is the Forlorn Hope of Fort King Road. It's hard to read. Jackson Walker, 1988 is when this was made, I guess. It's interesting. It's pretty. It's pretty big. It's probably 4 feet by 6, maybe. And here's a seat of war. So it says the battleground near Dade was here, around the small pond and on the route to Fort King Road. So we'll look for that when we walk around, I guess, because that's really kind of where the battle was. Well, Mars found a brochure for Dade battlefield.
Yeah, and it has their history and then the map.
Oh, cool. Yeah, definitely take that with us.
Oh, you gotta sign this?
Yeah, sign the book.
You can buy homemade. All kinds of things. You can even buy one of those pots.
Goat's milk soap. So I assume this was made locally. It's one of those little baskets, actually. It's neat. Little tiny ironing board. Oh, look. Alright, so this is cool. So, look, this is a Seminole round ball. Seminole warriors generally use hunting rifles and small caliber patch lead balls. Oh, these are modern reproductions. Shoot, I was hoping they were real. Here's the soldiers. Here's a 6-pound cannonball. And this is kind of what the cannon looked like, I guess. Well, I know there's this whole other room in here, so let's go in here. Oh, look, you can watch a video about Dade's battle. That might be fun. Today, the ranger on duty is Ranger Kristen. We will keep an eye out for Ranger Kristen. Huh?
Did it begin?
Oh, wow, I didn't read. So this guy's right here, though. So this would have been one of the soldiers, one of Dade's men. Seminole Indian. And just by happenstance, Mars and I watched Horizon last night. So this is kind of interesting. I didn't plan to come here today, actually, but this is kind of interesting because we were just watching that, and of course they note on how the early settlers had to deal with the indigenous folks. So it's kind of a timeline of the Seminoles and the area, kind of what took place leading up to the wars, and then the battle here. This is a 1838 production U.S. military 1816 flintlock. Pretty neat. It's interesting little diorama. Kind of see the terrain. Looks really crappy.
On the cold morning of December 28, 1835, the command of Major Francis Langhorne Dade was marching from Fort Brooke to reinforce Fort King. On the 6th day, the detachment had traveled about 4 miles when they passed a small pond lying off to their right. Suddenly, the sparse pine and palmetto forest seemed to explode with gunfire. The soldiers were caught completely by surprise, and more than half the command was cut down by the first volley of shots. The Indians had planned their ambush well. They had the soldiers outflanked before firing the first shot. Each Seminole warrior was protected by a tree or hidden in the high palmettos. Quickly, the survivors began to return the fire with a 6-pound cannon, which soon frightened the Indians into withdrawing. During the lull, the soldiers quickly cut pine trees and began building a crude rectangular fortification against the next attack, which they knew would come soon. The structure was only 3 logs high when the Seminoles launched their second attack. For several hours, soldiers returned the fire, but soon ammunition for the 6-pounder was exhausted. Now the persistent firing of the Indians began to take its toll. At last, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, with a stench of burned powder hanging heavily in the air, the firing ceased. Thinking that all the soldiers were dead, the Indians withdrew to celebrate their victory. There were, however, 3 men who, though severely wounded, were overlooked. 2 of them managed to return to Fort Brooke, but only one lived to tell of the events which took place here on that fateful day of December 28, 1835.
Wow. So basically one guy survived to tell the story. That's crazy. It shows you, gotta confirm your kills. This is a real big mirror. Let me zoom out a little bit. That's pretty big. It's probably 6 by 8. And
He was the last one.
Lieutenant William Elon Basinger, one of the few men left standing. Boys, I'm the only officer left. Let's do the best we can. Yeah. Seems pretty crappy. This is the 3 high logs that they cut down to make a crude barrier to protect themselves.
It looks like they cornered themselves.
Well, you gotta remember that they're being fired upon from the trees all around them, basically, so they need some protection because the Indians had the trees to hide behind. So that means these guys had to quickly cut down these trees and then stack them. That's crazy. And then too, you gotta remember, each shot they fire, they get 1 shot and then they gotta reload. So while they're reloading, they're getting shot at. There's a roll of honor. So this is Dade's command. Wow. And then they even note the sole survivors here at the bottom. 3 guys. Joseph Sprague, Ransom Clark, John Thomas. It's a total 105 killed, 3 wounded. Wow. The flag here. 2nd Regiment. Yeah, so blood will turn like a brownish color over time. It's interesting, it's not behind glass or anything. I mean, I'm not gonna touch it, but you'd think they would maybe protect it a little more. And then this time looks like it follows after and then through the Second Seminole War and finally the relocation and then up till today. So as you can see, I'm not going through every single thing. In fact, I encourage you guys to come out yourself, check this out. Like I said, for $3 to get in here basically, or $2 if they're doing the tax break. It's really not bad, and it's a good way to get out and see some American history as well as see some local Florida history. So pretty neat. So right across from the visitor center, this is the log breastwork. So this is that structure that the soldiers quickly made. You can hear all the bugs.
Yeah, many bugs break us. Look at that red.
Yeah, you see,
wasp.
can you guys see this wasp thing? It's pretty gnarly. But this is a reproduction, but it's on the spot. So this is actually where it happened. This is pretty nuts.
It's based on the depictions of how
Oh, look,
the
there's Ranger
triangle
Kristen.
was. It was like they were here. So they were the Seminoles were in this forest.
Well, they were all around, and the Seminoles used it to hide behind the trees. So they just did their best to hide behind this thing. That's crazy. All right, we're gonna grab some bug spray, and then we're gonna be right back. We'll continue on. The resurrection fern. There's this little guy here, though.
I think scared him.
Hey, buddy. Sorry to bother you. He's tiny. He's maybe 18 inches. He's probably a half inch wide.
You just walked right up to it.
Well, I walked here and I saw something move over there. I looked here and I could see there was nothing here, so.
Look at that red little tongue.
Yeah, but he's alright.
He's gonna.
He's just hanging out. Yep. He's like, what's
He's
going
waiting for
on?
his rabbit.
Who are these people? Wish they'd leave me alone. I'm gonna go this way now. So we got our bug spray just for a little reference point. There's the visitor center again, our car, and then that fort thing.
So that's the resurrection fern. That looks like a dinosaur.
So it's
plant.
growing on the tree.
Yeah, and it shrivels up in the summer heat and goes to sleep, and then it comes back out and it's red.
That's cool.
Stay over there, snake.
Alright, well, I mean, it's kind of grassy around this way.
I wonder if he lives in that hole.
I don't know, that looks like a pretty big hole for him. Let's give you something bigger. We'll cut through though, there's not much going on here. So there is this little paved path here, and this road leads back to the main entrance. You can see the gates are closed, so we couldn't drive all the way in, which is fine. This apparently curves around eventually to like an ancient oak. So I'm sure it's a really old oak tree. I don't think we're gonna walk this bit. I'd rather go back. There looks like there's some other like landmarks and things to see. So rather than waste our energy here, because it is warm today, we want to stay hydrated and stay out of the sun. I think we're gonna come back this way instead. Look, there's a little like mouse or something on that log. Can you guys see him? Or maybe he's a lizard.
It's a lizard.
Oh, it's a lizard. He looked bigger.
He's doing his
He's doing his push-ups now. Yeah, you guys see him? There he goes. All right, false alarm for a mouse. I just saw some. I think the sun was hitting him too, so he looked almost white. My first thought was not lizard. But yeah, I mean, could you imagine trying to hide behind this thing while you're taking on gunfire? That's terrible.
Oh, and then look, come over. You can see the actual size of the
Oh,
site.
okay. All right. Yeah, that's neat.
So that's the actual
So that's
spot.
even smaller than the recreation here, and these 105 guys trying to be inside this thing.
And you've got like the trees aren't that big either. back
No,
then.
in the paintings they were depicted a little bigger. But like, look at Mars's height there, and obviously you can see if she scrunched down, she'd still be, you know, her head would still be about waist high, which means you're exposed. And then look at all these trees around that the Seminoles were hiding behind. So the Seminoles were hiding behind all these different trees, and I'm sure over here. Oh, that's cool. I don't think you guys could see it, unfortunately, but there's like a big butterfly.
I hear thunder.
Thunder? Well, anyway, it's kind of a cool spot. I kind of want to read what that sign is over there, just out of curiosity.
That's telling you that this place must be very haunted.
Yeah, I mean, like we were saying, 105 souls were lost here of just the American soldiers, and never mind the Seminoles. We don't know the number apparently, because I didn't see one inside.
You see
Yeah.
that too?
Yeah, can you guys see the lizard? Hey, bud.
I've never seen one with the back like.
No, yeah,
sign
his
like
back's
that.
very pretty.
Like a snake. Oh, some weird mushroom over there.
Yeah, I saw a mushroom on the grass too. So yeah, there's this weird mushroom down here. It's a very interesting place. But yeah, December 28th, 1835. Can you imagine too, the brush, everything would have looked like this except for the trail they were on. This just looks terrible to walk through. What?
You could really hide in there.
Yeah, that's true too. This looks like something you'd see out of a movie.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
So Fort Brooks and Fort King. So this will give you an idea. So they were going to Fort King. So Fort Brooke, I believe, was the one in Tampa, and they were heading up the trail. It took them 5 days with all their gear. But yeah, this is, if you look out through here, this is kind of what it would have looked like, and just rough terrain. Of course, in December, it wouldn't have been as hot as it is now. That's a plus, I suppose.
So this was the trail they're coming and started getting ambushed.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, because they said that immediately they built this encounter. So the trail would have been, I think, where the path is today, because according to that little audio map we watched or listened to, it showed it just to the left of the trail. So yeah, these plants don't look comfortable to walk through. I wouldn't want to walk through here.
That's crazy. Seminoles for moccasins.
Yeah. So I wanted to come over here because I saw this sign. I was just curious what it noted. Up this peaceful road from Fort Brooke toward Fort King came Dade's men to their deaths. Fort Brooke of 1835 is the Tampa of today. Fort King, 106 miles north by the military road, is now Ocala. Wow. That's crazy. So maybe this was the road then. Maybe I was wrong. Either way, this whole landscape just definitely in the Seminoles' favor. It's a good move on their part to ambush here. Can you imagine? You gotta walk 105 miles anyways. You're tired by the time you get around here, and then you get shot at. Mine says this is the palm tree of loneliness, but see what this says. It says the sable palm, commonly called cabbage palm, Florida's state tree, was once of great importance to early Floridians. The trunk was used by the Indians and pioneers for log houses and then cut into small blocks. It becomes a durable scrub brush, and the leaves are still used today for the roofs of the Seminole chickees and can be woven into hats and baskets. The heart, called swamp cabbage, can be eaten raw or cooked. However, this kills the tree and should be discouraged. All right, interesting.
Don't eat the heart.
But there it is, cabbage palm, and it's the Florida state tree, which I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Learning so much today.
Florida tree would be a palm tree.
Yeah, it's very fitting that it's the palm tree. It's just like I thought the dessert would have been key lime pie, but it's strawberry shortcake, which I like better actually. But
You love that one.
let's see. For 5 days, the Seminoles had stealthily observed the march. Oh, interesting. So they kind of stalked them.
Yeah, it says that they would go ahead of the direction they were going.
Huh.
So they were like, they had part of their tribe waiting here.
At 8 o'clock on December 28th. Well, I don't even know the time.
So they would have noted it on
This is
their
crazy.
journal, like when the battles.
You guys hear that bird squawking? Oh, yeah, look at there's some berries on here.
There was another tree covered in red ants, so I'm assuming they're sweet berries of some sort. And then, like, ant those in that.
Yeah, get a zoom in on those berries, dude. See
He's
him on that
flying.
branch?
Oh, that is a bird. That's a hawk. But no, the one that's flying around.
Yeah, I know it's not the one making noise, but you can see that bird there. Moving in a better position.
This is our binoculars.
He's just chilling. Yeah, it's true. We do have binoculars in the car. Let's see, what do we got here? Suddenly, men reeled and fell to a deadly fire poured upon them from behind the trees and palmettos. Half of Major Dade's command lay dead or wounded. Major Dade and Captain Frazier were killed nearby, and 3 of the 6 surviving officers were wounded. Those men remained after the first onslaught, sought cover so they might return fire. After several rounds from the cannon, the Indians withdrew. The soldiers hastily threw together a low redoubt of logs, cared for their wounded, and collected ammunition of the fallen. Crazy. So I guess it wasn't quite the whole regiment trying to hide in there, but still pretty nuts. So we got this little bridge here, little footbridge, and then we got that one that's probably made to get a vehicle across so the parks can maintain.
This way.
Yeah, so let's go across this footbridge. This is cool.
Seems like you're about to follow those white poles.
Yeah, let's just go for a bit. Just watch out for the troll. He might ask us to answer a riddle or something.
I'm not good at riddles.
Yeah, me neither. We might be stuck here a long time.
It's like a dead worm thing.
There's Mars's worm thing. Alright, there she goes though, over the bridge. Ooh, she made it without the troll coming.
Pretty swampy down there, Nate. Don't fall down.
Yeah, it is pretty gross.
Yeah, that looks like poop water.
Yeah, don't go down in the poop water. But the bridge is cool. Troll free, so that's a plus. Ranger Kristen's doing her job, keeping the trolls out of here. Wow, so there's one of the lieutenants, and they marked his death site.
Is that what this is? Is the death tour?
Yeah, it's like a walk of death, I guess.
God. Matt's gonna be so proud.
Yeah, Matt will love this. Shout out to Matt. Second phase of the battle lasted until about 2 p.m. Most of the forage of the 108 had been killed. The wounded were dispatched after by the enemy after the battle ended, with the exception of 3. Chief Alligator, the Seminole leader, claimed that only 3 of his warriors were killed and that only 5 were wounded. Wow, if that's true, then they really kicked some ass.
With the thunder sounds, it sounds like we're going into battle.
I don't think this is that far, so. Alright, looks like we got another marker here. Let's see who died here. I wonder how they know that.
Before they picked up their body.
No, I know, but I mean, really, who was marking it? I mean, you're getting shot at. Like, who's taking that kind of time?
No, but those you do have your notator. So
Captain Fraser. Right here?
Captain Fraser, like an Outlander?
I don't watch Outlanders. So. The scene of the ambush remained deserted for 7 weeks. Finally, on February 20th, an expedition under General Gaines arrived here. Oh, identified the bodies and gave them proper burial. So that makes sense. They just left them here. That's how they knew where they died. Small cannon was retrieved after the Seminoles had thrown it in a pond. Huh. So Dade's command now rests in the National Cemetery at St. Augustine. That's cool. I guess the next time we're in St. Augustine, we will have to conclude this and go find General Dade. That would be really neat, actually. Having seen where he died and then where his final resting spot is. I don't know that I've done that with very many people.
No, but we walked by, I think, that National Cemetery when we went to the points, that big ball.
Yeah, that might have been it, but now we know, like, we can look for his specific grave. And I'm sure there's a database online. So here's actually where Major Dade died. And this was right when we came in. This is actually the park entrance. The gates are over there. This is the booth. Yeah, and there's a picnic area over here and a few other things that maybe we'll check out. We might just drive through it, but we'll kind of check it out just to see what's here. Very nice place though. Very serene, very quiet.
Just wear bug spray.
That's true to probably anywhere in Florida though. You should probably wear bug spray and sunscreen. Like I'm wearing my UV shirt today, so I'm kind of relying on that more so. Oh, so this, I didn't see this earlier, so this is a historic landmark. Placed in 1974. Look at that little lizard on the fountain thing. Little tiny guy on the edge there at 3 o'clock. We're, we're heading out basically, but we're gonna palm weaving August 23rd. That's cool.
It's right there.
Trash to treasure, July 30th.
Oh, you would love that.
So this is a very large picnic area. I mean, there's tons of places to park here.
So there's a gazebo too, so if they do those types of community events, this is a pretty nice space.
Yeah, covered picnic area. Not all of them. There are some tables over here that are uncovered. But yeah, it's a very nice space.
And they look like they're just wooden benches not bolted down, so you could move them out too if you needed.
There's a slide back here too.
Water
Oh, and a
fountain.
nature trail. I didn't know that.
There's a water fountain station and rails.
Captain Gardner back here. But look, there's a play area and a swing set behind
And
that.
sciences or something that way.
A nature trail. So I zoom in, you can see it. It says nature trail that way. So that's interesting.
This is pretty good.
We didn't go down there.
There's a little bell.
That's cool. Yeah, you could ring the bell there.
The bell.
There's restrooms over there. Looks like pet bag stations there. It's a nice place. And then you guys see the large gazebo over there.
Chief McCanopy.
I assume it works just like a normal public park where you would rent out the booth you want, right? So Chief Jumper, if that's the one you like, you could rent that one in particular.
Oh, that nature trail is big.
Yeah, this goes back a decent way here. Yeah, like I'm surprised how big this parking lot is. They must host quite a few events then and really make use of this. Otherwise, why would you ever make this place this big?
And it's very clean.
Very clean,
Even
yeah.
the restrooms were spotless.
Yeah, hats off to the Rangers who take care of it. Doing a great job. So that's a service road. I can't go down there, so I'm just gonna kind of turn. But this is over where the trail is. Oh yeah, you guys see the hawk?
Yeah, moved onto that tree.
Yeah, he's pretty. He kind of blends in, but he's dead center of your screen right now. He's just hanging out. Maybe another time if we're up, we will go check out the nature trail. The other thing we're up against is we can hear thunder, so it's gonna rain probably any time soon. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, this is one of the lodges here, so it's indoors. But it appears to be another space you can possibly rent out.
I like that little.
Gazebo's closed right now. They got some caution tape on it. Yeah, I'm gonna end up leaving this way, but yeah, you can see here.
Memory of JCB. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kuntz. His imaginative planning, earnest leadership, and sturdy endeavor contributed invaluably to the establishment of the Dade Battlefield Memorial. All right, so as you could guess, since we forgot the intro, we definitely forgot the outro. But that was our time at the Dade Battlefield Historic State Park. We did have a good time walking around. The weather was in our favor. It did start raining on us as we drove off, headed back towards home. So we kind of planned that just right. We got lucky. I believe the park's open 7 days a week, but you can always check that out on the state park's website. As you saw too, the lot of picnic tables, a lot of places to kind of rent out for either like a party or an event. We thought the space there was really good, so something to check out. Again, if you're in the area and you need a place for a large gathering, something like that, it looks like they could host quite a bit. And we would love to go back just to maybe have a picnic lunch there or something like that. It was very peaceful. There was quite a few birds and other little critters out, which we like to be around. And the ease of getting there and getting in and out of the park just seems inviting. So something to keep in mind. But that was really it. We just wanted to shine some light on a place that most people don't know about, and won't think about going to. You're coming here for Disney World or Universal or all the other big theme park and big touristy type stuff that people visit here for. But this is a nice break from that if that's your thing. And as always, thank you very much for watching. We appreciate it. And until next time, bye bye.